My name's Peter Beshar. I'm the General Counsel of Marsh McLennan. I've found that law firm marketing is actually critical. That when we are sitting down with 3 or 4 firms to consider a significant new matter, it really does break down that half of the firms invest a tremendous amount of energy into it, and half of the firms give you a relatively pro forma, pre-packaged response. So those firms and those marketing departments that really try to say, okay, Marsh McLennan is in the insurance broking industry, it is in the consulting industry. Here are a list of prior representations that we've done in kind of similar professional services spaces or in a similar industry, and then trying to really put some substantive energy into the legal analysis based on the facts that you know. What we've described the transaction to be, or a particular complaint that's filed, or some challenge that we're facing, put together a thought piece that reflects 5, 10 pages of analysis of the way in which you would approach that. And I think that's a real divide. And as you can imagine, we gravitate very much towards the people who are essentially doing this on the come and investing the energy into the relationship. There are a lot of meetings in a corporate existence. We tend to get into the office earlier than law firm partners tend to do, for example. Most corporate days start somewhere between 7:30 and 8. And then literally you're in a series of meetings, probably a dozen during the course of the day. And so your day is structured quite differently. You don't have typically 2 or 3 hours to really delve into a specific issue. So that when folks are trying to reach out to be aware of the day, for example, so that an invitation to a fancy lunch is not terribly compelling when you're trying to figure out how to meet your obligations to your colleagues. Breakfast, by contrast, really before the start of the day, for me personally, works quite effectively. Sending a cold email is not terribly impactful to me. But by contrast, if you write a letter to me, 1 or 2 pages, and say, this is some development that's gone on in the law, and I thought you, Peter, might be interested in trying to have a better understanding of it. I stick that in my briefcase at the end of the day, and you read it, and you try to get a little bit smarter. And one of the challenges for somebody like myself is that literally you're asked to weigh in on issues that range really quite widely. And I don't have training in probably half of the areas that I'm asked to weigh in on. So if a law firm partner or somebody in the broader community takes the effort to try to educate me in some area that is topical, take cybersecurity or privacy right now, I'm really appreciative of that. I think the key issue on relationships between law firms and the corporation is to just try to figure out how to align the interests. For the law firms to reflect that they have actually invested time and energy into the relationship. And you can do that by reading analyst reports and the trade press in particular. When I was at Gibson Dunn, I didn't have a good enough appreciation of how much relevant information you can get about how the company is positioned and how it's progressing. And so kind of make an effort there. The structure of a corporation. Before I came to Marsh Mac, I didn't know what a matrix was. I didn't really know what margin meant. I didn't truly know what the treasurer's role was within the corporation. But those are pretty integral aspects of what it means to operate effectively inside of the walls of a corporation.